Before you watch this video, I just want to let you know that this one in particular is quite serious compared to other videos that you've seen on my page yet, and I expect that it to be treated as such. I made this video a few months back, and I was unsure till this point that I was really going to post it or not. But now I feel it's my responsibility because I do have the knowledge and I want to educate others. And if this video in particular puts one misguided person on the straight and narrow, then I know it has served its purpose. I also wanted to let you know that I was quite upset when I made this video, and I did bring into the video a couple of stories that are very true and very serious. Even though I'm directing this video at teens, I just want to let you know, again, this is a mature subject and it may offend others. Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It's time to talk, starring yours truly. Now let's get on with the show.
Hi guys, as you can see again, I'm back in my basement. Everybody's upstairs asleep. It's like, geez, almost 2 in the morning. But anyway, I had to make this video. I'm a little iffy about posting it on my page because of the subject, but this isn't so much about me. I'm just going to mention what this video is about. It's about teen pregnancy. This is something that maybe in some towns you're thinking, oh, this doesn't happen often, or you're thinking, oh, this happens a lot. It does happen a lot. I'm going to tell you not so much in detail about some of my experiences around it, but before I do so, I live in the first city stated in Canada, which is St. John, New Brunswick. For those of you who are in New Brunswick that watch the news reports constantly, or watch stats, or even pay attention online at all, you would know that we actually have the highest rate of teenage pregnancy in our country today. That's sad, that really is. And we're not the biggest country in the world, or anything like that. Or the biggest city, I should say. I'm just like, ugh. But anyway, some of my experiences are, I'm going to say, to be perfectly honest, the people that I went to high school with, or went to school with at all, I can't even count on my fingers and toes together how many people I've known who are good friends of mine that have gotten pregnant before they have finished high school. And some of them today haven't graduated yet. I'm not going to mention again any names, but I have another friend who we're not exactly seeing eye to eye right now, who has actually still haven't finished high school, and they're trying, and within the past couple of weeks has had their second child. And it's sad, and I mean, it hurts. But I'm not going to go so much into detail of those stories. What I'm here to say is what life is like today. I mean, I'm only 21 years old. It hasn't been that long since I graduated, and it hasn't been that long since I have looked at dealing with the same pressures of the teenage life today. Now, a lot of you are thinking today, oh, sex is the bomb, it's great, oh, my friends are doing it, why don't I? Give yourself a slap in the forehead right now. Wake up and smell the coffee, guys, because it's no piece of cake. A lot of it for people going in and having sex at such a young age. I mean, I I'm talking, I've heard sex stories which sadly range from the ages of 12, which is illegal, to the ages of 18 to 19 and higher up, obviously, because that's when they start deciding to have friends. I mean, children. And I have a friend who's angry at one of their friends because they just recently got pregnant with somebody they haven't been with very long. A lot of it can be peer pressure where they're like, oh, I've done it. Oh, are you going to be the only one that's not doing it? Guys, not everybody's doing it. In this kind of situation, it's okay to be the odd guy or girl out. If anything, it can probably benefit you. There's a lot of things you have to think about today when you're thinking about having sex. And that's at any age. You don't only have to think about pregnancy, which again there's a very high rate of teen pregnancy. You also have to think about your health. You have to think, does this guy have a urinary infection? Does he have an STD? I don't know. Guys, if you're thinking about having unprotected sex, God, I would go against it. There are many STDs that I'm sure many of you haven't heard of today that isn't really mentioned anymore, but I'm going to list off some of the main ones that we do hear a lot of today. That would be HIV, which can develop into AIDS, which is lethal and has no symptoms. There is chlamydia, gonorrhea. These can range with stomach problems to having trouble going to the bathroom, to discharge is really gross. It can range into something that's contagious, like to the touch of the skin, and that would be things like syphilis and herpes. A lot of this stuff today, some of it, if you catch it in time, you can get rid of it. Other bits of it, you're stuck with it for life. Again, if you're thinking about having unprotected sex, don't do it. Protect yourself. There are forms of birth control and STI prevention out there. There's things like condoms. Some of you may be too embarrassed to walk up to the drugstore and go buy that box of what could be saving you an awful lot of stress. If you are feeling the urges and you think you can't wait any longer, I've had friends like that in school, even in college, where I've actually had to go in myself. I took their money, obviously it wasn't coming out of my pocket, and I went and I purchased condoms for them because I didn't want to see them destroy their future. There's a lot of responsibility when having sex, not only worrying about pregnancy and STDs. You got to think about your future. But going into it can take those two into effect. And infections, of course, which antibiotics can clear up. Now, the responsibility can come into if you are a teenager and you become pregnant. You're faced with decisions that you have to make, and you don't often have a lot of time to make it. there are things which people go against, and I'll probably get some nasty comments from this. Abortion. There is putting them up for adoption, which some other people may go against that, but you have to think of the well-being of the child as well. If you got to think, are you capable to take care of this child yourself? Or maybe that child is going to need more help than you can provide. You have to think about if you are going to have this child, and which with some of the other options, like let's say the abortion, there are complications where things could go wrong. Having the child, again, there could be complications. You have to think about feeding the child, clothing it, finding a place to sleep, getting all the supplies like diapers. You have to get, again, formula. You have to think about the stress of taking care of a child. You think of it. You have a child now. You cannot go out with your friends anymore and go party and have a good time. You have to stay home and take care of your own. You have to take care of your child. Your time has to go into the child. If you still want to go to school, you have to find daycare, and you know what? That comes into another stress. That is money. Can you afford to do it? There are government programs out there for this type of thing, but you can't always guarantee that you would actually get that. You have to think about the care of the child, but most importantly, when caring for a child, you have to look into caring for yourself. If you cannot take care of yourself, how can you take care of the child? Even though that you have that child, you're still the first priority. There are some things that can go into prevention and just stopping it altogether. If you are thinking about having sex with a new partner, or even for the first time, even if it's their first time, or so they're saying, don't believe them if they're saying it's your first time and they're clean. Both of you go get tested, and you want the results. It doesn't hurt to speak to your doctor about birth control, preventing pregnancy, preventing STDs. Think of it. It's your body. For you girls out there, this is your body. And even for you guys, going back on the whole STD things, this is your body. This is your future. Having a child, or even getting an STD, especially at a young age, can be really stressful, scary, and you would have to make some very drastic decisions. So I want you guys to take this into effect. Think about this. Don't forget it. Because, again, there are a lot of rates of teen pregnancy in my city. And then another thing we've noticed, that there are very, very high rates of STD contraction in my city right now too. So I just wanted to get this out in one video. And again, I'm a little iffy about posting this, but this is information I think you guys need to know and have, and so it could be one person that comes across this video, or a million, I don't care. As long as I have helped one person to make an informed decision, then you can think about maybe passing that information on to someone else. It would make me feel better to know that somebody is a little more informed. But again, before I shut off the camera, there are other options. If you're having doubts at all, by all means, don't do it. Because first time, that's supposed to be the special time. If you don't plan it right, or if it doesn't go how you want it, you could end up regretting it. And believe me, that is pain that can hold on to you for years. There are options. If you're thinking about having sex at your age, if you are young, if you're old, at least wear a condom. Play it safe. There are, in I'm sure most communities today, especially in the bigger cities, there is at least a sexual health clinic that'd be more than happy to educate you, give you testing, and if needed, maybe provide that extra something that you shouldn't go without. Just keep that in your mind, guys.